Well, welcome to this Sports Showcase event on Harford TV. I'm Don Morrison. Today we are at North Harford High School. It is the finals of the 2025 boys volleyball in Harford County. Christine Mitchell, I'm looking at these two teams and you see their records. They're both 14-1. They come from different divisions. They did play early in the year and Falston won that game, but Falston also lost to C. Milton Wright, and Harford Tech defeated C. Milton Wright. It turned out 3 times during the year, twice during the regular season, and once to get into this finals. So if you look at comparison scores, not a whole lot to tell the difference between the two.
No, not really. And the last game that they went against each other on September 12th, they went into 5 sets, and it was tight games all the way around. So it could go either way tonight based on those numbers. Going to see who's here ready to play tonight.
Talking to Gary Clement, the coach from Harford Tech. This team went 16-0 last year, came into the finals and defeated North Harford 3 straight games. Have almost everybody back, but they're still young. They've got only 1 senior on the team. So Gary was telling me that really that loss to Falston early in the year was a godsend because his kids had kind of a little big head, like, hey, it's going to be easy. We were 16-0 last year. We're just going to float through the season. But it sort of told them, no, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to get tough.
Yeah, sometimes they need those losses in order to keep us in check and make sure that we know that we're not the best and there's still plenty of room for improvement. So
there you see Bill Stewart, the coach of Falston, and Bill's team last year was 6-8. This year they're 14-1. Christine, how can a team go from 6-8, have basically the same players, maybe lose a couple to graduation, and now be 14-1? What happens?
I'm going to say that, most of these players now are playing club volleyball within the county. That makes a tremendous difference if they're playing off season. That really brings up the level of play, and I do believe majority of these players are playing club in off season. And that combined with great coaching, and there's no reason that they shouldn't come around and turn around that game for them.
There's Alexander Necker, who is the assistant coach and one of the dads of one of the players on the Harford Tech team. Harford Tech, again, comes in with that great record. This is the state championship game, if you will, for boys volleyball because only one other county in the entire state has boys volleyball, that being Montgomery County, and they play in the spring. So unlike every other sports getting ready to go into regions and states, this is it. This is the final game of the year. This is for all the marbles. You win the county title, which Falston won the regular season title based on the fact that they had defeated Harford Tech early in the year. But now it comes down to the tournament. So the winner gets the trophy. This is what it's all about.
Absolutely. We're in a neutral site today, so nobody's got favoritism on home site. So good fans on both sides. I think it's going to be a great day.
It's going to be great fun. Brady Green, who is the athletic director here at North Harford, made us very welcome, and everything is set up so nicely for us. So we're excited to see what will be the finals between the Harford Tech Cobras, dressed in the black. They are the visiting team based on the seating, and Falston dressed in the white with the orange trim. Getting ready here to hear some pregame announcements as we're all ready for the start of this game. Shelley Disharoon, Rich Moyers, John Batista, and Lawrence Shepard, they are the officials. 2 down officials, 1 at the net and 1 up on the ladder.
Harford High School, home of the Hawks. Tonight we'd like to welcome the Falston Cougars and Harford Tech Cobras for the Harford County Boys Volleyball Championship. Introducing the lineup for the Cobras.
Harford Tech, the visiting team, if you will, because of their lower seed. Going to be introducing now. You're hearing Albany introduced. Austin is number 27, a senior. Gavin Bogert, he is a sophomore. Philip Kozlowski, one of the Kozlowski twins. Peter at number 19, both 6'5". Xander Necker.
Nicholas Olivio. Isaiah Roberson.
And now some of the non-starters being introduced.
Thomas Santiago. And Jacob Weber.
Christine Mitchell, they have 1 senior on the entire team. You say, okay, it's a young team, but it's a team, as we said, all coming back from last year when they were undefeated.
Yeah, that means next year looks good for them to start out with.
And you hear the fans. There's really a nice crowd here at North Harford. They travel well, both teams. Boston players being announced, the non-starters. Reese Koppelman is the libero. Alex Keegan, senior. Aiden Robinson, the biggest man on the team at 6'7". That's Glenn Callan. Sean Kelly, big following for Sean. Bill Stewart and Eric Brown. Eric Brown, the assistant coaches. Alexander Necker, Shelley Albany will be assisting Gary Clement. Now to honor our country with our national anthem. All set. This should be a good one. Christine explaining to the folks at home, we play best 3 out of 5.
Yep.
First, if you go to 2-2, that last match will be only 15 points, the 5th and deciding match. And we could see it here tonight.
Absolutely.
These two teams, as we said, just look to be so evenly matched. One team, a young experienced team, talking about Harford Tech. Falston, a very veteran team as well. The traditional handshake. This will be the last time there'll be a friendly handshake until the game is over. These two
game
teams,
faces are going to come on soon.
yeah, they're kind of arch rivals. You know they are, because when Falston defeated Harford Tech early in the year, as Gary Clement said, that was kind of a wake-up call for the Harford Tech Cobras.
And this is a big comeback for Falston this year, coming back from being 6-8 last year.
Yeah, they haven't been in the finals since 2015. Tech, on the other hand, has been in the finals. This is the 3rd straight year, defeating North Harford, as we said, 3 straight last year.
We're going to hope that the nerves don't get to Falston being the first time they're in the county championship.
Well, very good point. You can see the Falston team gathered together now, the teammates knowing that they have to depend on each other. Christine, the boys volleyball game so much different than girls volleyball, other than the fact that the net is about 7 inches taller. Can you tell us what the difference is between the two games?
You know, girls volleyball, you're going to see a lot more rallies. With boys volleyball, you're going to tend to see probably 1 or 2 balls over the net for a rally, and then generally it's going to end in a kill.
25 points per game.
Yep.
3 games, you have to win 3 to win the match. You have to win by 2, so you can't win 25-24. It's got to be a 2-point margin.
One of the big similarities is serving. If you don't get your serves in, your team's not going to win. So hopefully both teams are ready for that.
Bill Kozlowski, number 29, one of the twins, the junior. He's the older of the twins, I'm told, by 2 minutes. He has 52 aces on the year.
That's amazing, and he's also coming in. He's the setter on the team.
Yeah. Sports medicine is his major at Harford Tech. 3-year varsity player. 3 to get it over. That's touched at the net, so it's going to be a point for Falston. Looks like that kill maybe came from Joey Gross. Falston leading by 1-0 now. Now they take the serve. Rally scoring. Gross will serve. Left-handed serve. It still can go over. And will. And a
There we
point
go.
for Tech.
Anytime they play the ball off the ceiling, as long as the ball remains on their side of the court, they can continue to play for 3 touches.
Boy, good point, Christine. This ceiling is fairly tall, higher than most ceilings that we see in the gym, so that's a good thing. Back to serve here is Peter Kozlowski. Peter, the 6'5" twin brother of Phil. That's going to be long. Point goes to Falston. Christine, rally scoring, explain that, please.
Rally scoring. So with rally scoring, you're getting points no matter what. Even if it's an error on the other team, you can earn points. Previous scoring used to be non-rally scoring. It was based on a point-based system. If you served in the net, nobody got a point.
Block at the net. This is a long volley here. Oh, kill at the net. Great job. That by 10, Sean Kelly. Kelly has 106 kills on the year. Falston now takes a 3-1 lead. Christine, you talked about nerves, so this has to be good for Falston. This is Flynn Callan ready to serve. Flynn has 23 aces on the year. Oh, great kill. Kill at the net.
You know, one thing you're seeing today, which you generally don't see in high school volleyball games, is 2 line judges that are actually officials also.
Yeah.
That is only brought in for county games and for regionals and state playoffs.
Jacob Weber, who got that kill, he'll be doing the serving. Got to go over and does. Set. Kelly. Up. They're saying what?
Call it double.
What's the call?
So that's going to be a double. So that is one of the new changes in volleyball that's trickling down to the high school. Doubles are generally allowed as long as it's not sent over the net, and that third ball was sent over the net, so she can call a double on that ball.
Jackson Niccolo with the serve.
24, a little deep.
It's out. Tech is claiming that it was tipped by Falston, but it was not. That's 5-2. Falston had a 1-0 lead, tied at 1, and now they're leading by 5-2. Nice diving return on the dig.
Nice over.
Little miscommunication there. The set. Here's Kelly. Little ding coming off. Nope, it hits the ceiling. It'll go down. It'll be Tech point. 5-3.
Side out Tech.
Tech will be serving. This is Austin Almany to serve. The only senior on the team and the captain. Criminal justice major. Nice little ding at the net. Diving attempt by the libero. Cannot get it across. Good try by Thomas Santiago, but he couldn't get it across. It's now 5-4. Almany serving again.
Good reaction by number 29.
We're tied.
Philip Kozlowski.
Tied at 5. Big comeback here for Tech. Looks like now they settle down, Tech playing their game. Austin Almany serving again. Getting it across. Oh, great set. Good job by Santiago. Kelly blocked at the net.
Block.
Kelly again.
Again. Oh, that one's right through the block.
Big hit by Kelly, Dawn Kelly. Lead now for Falston at 6-5. We were tied at 1, we were tied at 5, and now it's 6-5 Falston.
We have number 13, Joey Gross, coming back in to play front row.
Luke Price to serve. Santiago. No, they can't get it.
You got a hand on it.
We're tied again at 6. Trevor Birchfeld to serve.
a little deep.
Good set. Oh, and a kill.
Nice play.
Great kill.
That was a nice setup by the Harford Tech team.
Peter Kozlowski, number 19, with the kill. Had 200 kills on the year. 211 kills. Tie game, actually now a lead for the Cobras. That's their first lead of the night, 7-6. Oh, set up beautifully, not by Falston's attempt, but killed by Tech, and now they lead by 6-8. But right now it's trouble time, Christine. Falston has to stop this rally. They led 5-2, now they're down 8-6.
Big swing, good
Gotta get it
recovery.
over, and they do.
And that's that same call again. That's going to be that double and that third ball over. It's got to be cleaner.
Kelly Disharoon, the up referee, called that one. Falston now will serve.
Looks like we have Alexander Necker coming in for Harford Tech as a defensive specialist.
Big serve. Oh. The
Net
call in the
call
net.
on Tech.
Rich Moyers says, no, Tech was in the net, and now questioning the call, and Rich Moyers is pointing out where the net was hit. It is now tied again. Our third tie of the game. We were tied at 1, tied at 5, and now tied at 8. Great serve, good ace. That by Joey Gross. Joey had 41 aces on the year. Back in front is Falston at 9-8. Christine back and forth just like we thought it might be.
That was a nice clean ball over. Good coverage by Tech.
Nice block, but it's out. Point Falston.
And that was a nice play by number 9, Flynn Callan. Used the block to push that ball outside.
Big comeback by Falston. They were down 8-7. Now they lead by 10-8.
Number 10, Sean Kelly.
Joey Gross with great serving.
Up. Night. Oh, that was a great play. It was a good follow by Jacob Weber.
Christine, I'm impressed with Joey Gross. He doesn't jump and serve. He just stands and serves. This is Sean Kelly now serving. 11-8. Again, another ace.
Nice hard serve. He served to that one position in that back left corner almost every time.
Sean Kelly with 23 aces on the year. Falston has scored the last 4 points to go up 12-8.
Nice up. Good recovery
Good
by
play.
Tech on that.
Santiago. They'll point those Tech.
So he's going to call that a lift. He came under the ball.
Tech finally breaks that scheme that Falston had going.
And number 32, Gavin Bomer.
Bomer to serve. That's going to be out is the call.
That
was close. Lawrence Shepard said it was just out, so Falston gets that point, 13-9.
Here we have the libero serving number 21, Reese Kopelman.
The sophomore got that left-handed serve. Oh, great block at the net.
Good pickup.
It was to Nicolo that made that save.
Good deep ball.
Oh,
nice.
Get out of the way. Peter Kozlowski. Christine, when that happens, I want to be somewhere else. I want to be close to that ball.
That's a great call on that part. I wouldn't want to be defending that ball.
13-10 to score.
Now
serving.
we have Philip serving.
Yep. Philip Kozlowski. Little miscommunication. Point scored by Falston. That by Flynn Callan. 14-10 now. Matches their biggest lead of the match at 14-10.
Got number 13 serving Joey Gross.
Joey with the leaping serve. That's
Deep
going to be
serve.
long. And you said it. The one thing that you want to do fundamentally is get the serve in.
Yeah, let the other team make the error. You don't get the serve in, you're not even giving a chance to get the point.
Peter Kozlowski. Peter, number 19, the junior. That's going to be almost long. That would have been close. Instead, it's an 8.
And we're at 14-12 still.
Yep. Back within 2.
Got Foston up by 2.
There you see Bill Stewart, that worried look on his face.
Nice serve.
Beautiful ace.
It's a beautiful ace by number 19.
Peter Kozlowski, the 6'5", had 36 aces coming in during the season.
Again.
Good job by Santiago. And they get the point. Actually, Koppelman, it's Reese Koppelman who made that save. With a libero, he's a defensive player, has a different color shirt on. Doesn't get a lot of credit, but I tell you, they are so important.
It's generally your player that's going to be all over the court. He should be your best defensive player on the team.
15-13 to score. Callan with the serve. Attempt there by Koppelman. Point though goes to Tech at 15-14.
Side out, we have number 33 serving, Jacob Weber.
Jacob, 4.5 GPA student, indoor and outdoor track. Also plays pickleball. Never tried that sport, have you?
I have not yet, but you see it more and more every day. I feel like I need to jump on that bandwagon, get out there and try it.
Trevor Birchfeld up over the net, doesn't touch net, gets the point. We're tied again at 15-15. Our 4th tie of the match. Into the net.
That's 2 missed serves for Tech at this point. That could be the difference in the game at the end of the day.
Yeah, 16-15.
Yep. Number 11, Jackson DeNicolo serving. Nice block
at the net.
Number 10, Sean Kelly.
Sean Kelly. Kelly had 4 blocks coming in. That was a beautiful one. Up by 2 now at 17-15. DeNicolo back to serve again. Kelly, whoa!
Yeah,
15-15.
they got to get that block up with Kelly. If they're not getting a block up there, that ball's going straight down.
Kelly about 6'5". He's using all of that 6'5". DeNicolo switched sides serving. There's the kill. That's what Tech needed. That is from Trevor Birchfeld. 18-16. Number 25 is the game. Have to win by 2. Serving Albany.
Nice pass. Let's see what they do.
Kelly. Oh, the dink. Tried
Good.
to do the changeup. That's going to be long. 18-17.
There's a nice read by number 29, Philip Kozlowski on the block with the dink.
Albany.
Good serve. Nice pass. Nice dump.
Very nice dive.
There we go.
Good save by Tech.
Up.
And it does not go over. Point 19-17. Well, what a match this has been, Christine. Exactly what we thought we'd be seeing.
Back and forth. And it looks like we got a sub back in. That's number 13, Joey Gross, coming back in for the front row. Number 4 serving Luke Price. It's a high ball. Another high ball.
They do get it over. Kelly. Oh, block!
That
Blocked
was
at the net.
great block by number 29. That was Philip Kozlowski.
Yeah, Phil Kozlowski, the captain of the team, makes it now 19-18.
And Philip's got the height to match Sean Kelly.
Trevor Birchfeld to do the serving. Trevor with 23 aces on the year. Koppelman, that's in. We're tied.
Nice down.
19-19.
That was the other Kozlowski.
Our 5th tie of the game. Birchfeld to serve again. First-year player, a junior. Oh, set it up, unfortunately.
Overpasses.
Peter Kozlowski.
If the hitters are ready in that front row on an overpass, it's going straight back at you.
Another lead.
Timeout.
Timeout.
Bill Stewart.
Well, what a comeback by both teams. Down by 4, Tech just came right back. That play right there, very unfortunate. Falston really set it up for Tech. The ball was just barely over the net. Easily returned. What an exciting match this is. Again, these two teams played early. Back on September the 12th, Falston won in a 5-set match.
You know, Don, it's always exciting to see a boys championship game or any championship game with a good matchup. Who wants to watch a Super Bowl game with a kill, you know, when one team just walks all over the other?
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a game like this and keep showing the end of your seat the entire game.
Yeah, Falston has not been in the finals since 2015. Tech, 16-0 last year. They breezed through the tournament, won the finals, defeated North Harford 3 straight games. So, you know, Falston has a lot to prove. Are they now ready to assume the big boy role in the county? Tech, on the other hand, defending champions. You know, this is it for volleyball. You don't get regions, you don't get states. This is what it's all about.
You know, and looking at it, this is the last game for the seniors that are out there tonight.
Yep.
They want to finish strong.
There you see some of the fans talking to one another into the game. Falston has to come back now. Little dink to get it across.
Nice pass, set it up.
Setting nicely.
There we go.
Kozlowski.
That was a great pass. Great
Peter
set.
Kozlowski. Now it's a 2-point lead. That's the biggest lead of the night for the Cobras. They've been up by 1 3 times. Now they're up by 2. 21-19. Birchfeld to serve. 4 points away from winning. That's out.
3rd missed serve of the evening. Not the time to have that missed serve on such a tight game.
Good call. Kelly will go back to serve.
He had a good run last time. Let's see if he can do it again. Finish out the game for Falston.
23 aces. Down by a point. It's going to be out. We're tied.
Back tied, 21-21.
That's our 6th tie of this match.
So it was interesting that Sean's been serving into the back corner, and he switched serving down the line that time. So changing it up.
What a serve.
Another ace. 22-21, Falston. Take the lead again.
3 points away from winning this first game. You've got to win 3 games to win the match. Kelly.
Move that ball
again. 23-21. Boy, what makes that serve so hard to return, Christine?
You know, one thing is it's unpredictable. He's moving that ball all over the court. You know, and that's great. I mean, not only the velocity of the ball itself, it's got a nice top spin on it, it drops at the end, but the fact that he's moving it all over the court, so they have no idea where that serve is going.
Yeah, the team is in sort of meeting there. You're watching Tech now talking, Gary Comet talking to his players, but if you're watching the other side of the court, all by himself, Sean Kelly, he knows that he's the man. If he can serve 2 more aces than this win, there you see the Falston team talking with their coach, but you don't see number 10. Number 10 is all by himself. He doesn't want to talk to anyone.
He's trying to stay in the zone. You know, each player has their own thing, and that's his.
There's you see him, he's separated from the rest of his team. All he wants to do is think about what he has to do. That ball is clearing the net by inches, but falling before it goes out of bounds. Can he do it? Can he serve out? Sean Kelly, 23 aces coming into the season. He doesn't have a running serve like you see somebody with a jump serve. He just stands and booms the ball. That's going to be out.
And part of the point of a timeout is so that you distract the server. Tech's process worked on that, and they certainly must have distracted him. So now Tech has a chance to come back.
Gavin Bomert in to serve.
Was a nice safe serve, keeping it in. See if they can put it down. Oh, good try.
It's going to be point. 24-22.
Going game point for Falston. And we have the libero serving, Reese Koppelman.
Reese, the sophomore. They say his nickname is Oopa Loopa. Oopa Loopa. Let's see if Oopa Loopa can do it.
Nice serve, good pass.
Oh, the kill. Kozlowski, 24-23.
Now, if Tech misses the serve or loses the point, Falston still has the game. That's the thing with rally scoring. You don't have to serve in order to win.
Bill Kozlowski to serve.
Oh.
Good play at the net. Kozlowski, great block.
Good.
There's
There we
the kill.
go.
There's the game. 25-23. The victory for Falston. They win game 1.
Yeah, so I see that Harford Tech is at the net talking with the referee. The one tip that the setter did, he's arguing that the setter is back row, and that would be considered a back row attack if he touches the ball, if he plays the ball once the full ball is above the full plane of the net. So that's what he's questioning right now, because that should have been, if that is the case, then that should have been a point for Harford Tech.
And Christina, point that Phil Kozlowski is the captain. He's the one who can talk to the officials.
Yep, absolutely. He is the only player on the court that can. And obviously the ref is standing with her call. She says that the ball was within the plane of the net. So she's standing with the call of no back row attack.
Shelly Disharoon, the referee, and Rich Moyers came over. A good conversation there. It was a very well done appeal. Nothing hot, nothing, outstanding, but just simply, here's what I saw happen. How about you thinking about it? The officials talked with them and said, no, here's what we saw. Game Falston. Wow, what a game. 25-23. We had 6 ties. We had 5 lead changes. Falston wins by 2. Wow.
Let's see where they come back and do. Could be a total change in the game next game.
Yeah. Remember, it is best 3 out of 5. So if you win the first 3, it's over. If you win 3 out of 4, it's over. If you go to a 5th set where it's 2-2, then it's 15 points. Why is that? Why do they go just to 15 in that 5th set?
I'm not really sure. Probably the length of the game, because the timing of the game. The game strategy changes when you go to 15. Basically, your subbing is not as imperative, because you drop going to 25 points when you're limited to subs in a game of 25. Changes the strategy of the game.
There you see the officials conferring. Rich Moyers is the young man with his back to you, John Batista and Lawrence Shepard. You're not seeing the up official. They're adjusting the ladder here. Shelly Disharoon found something that wasn't to her liking with the way the ladder was situated. There you see the change being made. Shelly Disharoon, veteran referee. Christine, you told me that you tried refereeing for a very brief period of time. It wasn't your cup of tea.
I did. I love the game so much, and I thought, what better way to be involved in the high school seasons than to become an official? And honestly, I loved officiating, except for I would get too involved in watching the game and forget that I was the one officiating the game. So probably, I decided I would prefer to be a fan in the stand, and cheer on my teams and cheer on Harford County, then officiate. Maybe one day I'll go back to doing it, but for right now I'm going to stay a fan and just officiate.
Christine, you have coached, you have played. Talk about your experience in the game of volleyball.
My experience in the game of volleyball. So I was an avid high school player. Had the pleasure of playing for a Baltimore County team called Lock Raven. State championships multiple years. Fortunately, I had a shoulder injury that prohibited me from playing in college, so I started coaching while I was in college at a high school level, and then it just blew off into then starting the club, and now I've been with Intensity Volleyball Club for 9 years, and I love every second of everything I do with them.
Well, we certainly have you. Appreciate having you here, knowing the things that you know about this game. I mean, that game that we just saw, you kind of draw it up and you say, well, we hope we see a close game. 6 late changes, 5 times there's a tie. It's a reverse. 5 lead changes, 6 ties. That's exactly what you wanted to see. Now, if you're Falston, you're serving, a chance to take a quick lead and maybe go up 2 games to none.
We look at that last score, and if Tech wouldn't have had so many service errors, potentially that game could have gone the other direction. So we see the importance of missed serves.
Oh, nice dip And that's going to be a point for Falston. They take the 1-0 lead.
Oh, point for Harford Tech.
Well, they give it to Harford Tech.
Yep.
Was in the net.
I'm assuming, yeah, it looks like he might have been in the net.
So Tech gets the point. Phil Kozlowski to serve, up 1-0. 53 aces on the year.
Great serve, great pass.
Oh, nice block at the net.
Trying to play that off. Yep, they get it back over.
Yeah,
Might not have been pretty, but they got it over.
That's
And
in. Nice kill.
on that, they had all of their defensive players pulled up into the middle, so those back corners were definitely open, and Falston was looking.
Jackson Nicolo, first tie of the game at 1. Back to serve will be Flynn Callan. Flynn with 23 aces on the year. Oh, perfectly placed. What happened there, Christine? The back line didn't come up quickly enough?
Just looks like there's not a whole lot of communicating on Hartford Tech right now. You know, I think there was a question of who was going to take that short ball. Let's see if they can change it up this time.
Here's the first lead change we've seen here in the second game. Kozlowski. Kelly, the kill.
Yeah, they got to get that block up there.
Perfectly set up by Falston. We talk about the kill, but that was set up by the setter.
That was a beautiful set by the setter. Nice pass also. Whole play was nice. Hartford Tech's got to get that block up there against Kelly, or that ball's going straight down.
Luke Price, number 4. He's the young man doing the setting. Oh, great hit.
They used the block.
Peter Kozlowski.
There wasn't a whole lot of power on that hit, but he was able to use the block and placement.
You're right.
And he got the same end result, which was a point.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was set up very well, but he converted it. You said not a lot of, sting on the ball, but he had the right place. Leaping serve is going to be in.
Oh, that was in.
Yeah, we're tied at 3. Our second tie. We were tied at 1, tied at 3. Peter Kozlowski, sports medicine, been playing since he was 8 years old. That's going to be.
Oh,
Did he touch it?
He did. There was
Yes,
a touch
he
on
did.
that.
He tried to get out of the way, but touched it. So the point goes to Cobras.
That was definitely a gift for number 19 because
Yeah.
that ball was definitely going out. And when it's coming at you that fast, it's hard to make that decision. Another
Now
nice serve.
5-3. 2-point lead for the Cobras.
It's a nice run.
Yeah, they were down by 3-1. Now they're up by 5-3.
Falston's adjusting their serve receive just a tiny bit.
Kozlowski
Good pickup.
was a great pickup.
Deep
Kelly gets it
corner.
across.
Back row attack. Nice grab.
Oh, the great set. Good job by Kozlowski to keep it there. Block at the net. Kelly, he didn't touch the net. Point.
Okay. He's calling it under the net for Hartford Tech.
Wow.
So that point is going to Falston.
5-4, back within 1. That was a key point. Oh, kill. Nothing you can do there.
Nice kill.
That by Jacob Weber. 6-4 now. Weber back to serve. Jacob, a 4.5 GPA student. Indoor-outdoor track. Kelly. Great. Hit at the net. Point Falston. Back
think-
within 1.
Tech was waiting for that hard hit, and he switched it up and did a nice touch over the net, and just wasn't what Tech was expecting.
Yeah, we've seen the power of Kelly. We've also seen the finesse.
Number 4, Luke Price.
Price, the setter. Well, good job by Koppelman, keeping it alive. Koppelman, it goes over. Koppelman, we're tied. Well, third
Tied
tie.
again. Already in the game.
Yeah, 3 ties. We were tied at 1. We were tied at 3. We're tied at 6. Luke Price. There you see some of the fans.
Let's see.
Come
Follows
down
the ball.
eventually. It's
What a
still
follow.
alive.
But that was a great follow. Oh, tough angle. Hit the antenna.
That antenna is like a foul pole, only in baseball it's a fair ball. If it hits the antenna, it's out.
Correct, it is out. But that was a nice follow by the back row players over here trying to chase those balls out of the rafters.
Third lead change.
Nice serve by number 27.
Oh, and down he goes. Up and making the kill left-handed. That was Aiden Robinson in the ball game, number 7, making that kill.
That's our 4th tie of the game, correct? 7-7?
Yeah, it is our 4th tie.
I think that's our first net fault.
For Falston, yeah. So the lead now goes back to the Cobras, leading by 1.
Deep corner.
In. Good job. That by Ryan, by Flynn Callan, I should say. Point now, and we have another tie. That is our 5th tie. We're tied at 8. Koppelman, left-handed server. Well done. Dink over. Good play by Jackson to Nicolo. Lead now. That is our 4th lead change. Paulson leading by 1. Reese Koppelman. That's going to be out.
That's a second error now for Falston. We'll see if the serving errors are what makes or breaks each of these games.
That's our 6th tie. Bomert.
Nice serve right over the net.
Beautiful serve. Just made it over the net. That's going to be out.
Little wide.
Tech takes the lead. 5th lead change we've seen. We've had 6 ties and 5 lead changes. We're not up to, well, we're up to double digits, just barely.
It was a beautiful pass.
Nice return. Set. Kill at the net.
Oh, good try.
Great set by Price. Kill by Joey Gross. We're tied again. Our 7th tie. We're at 10 points each, and we've been tied 7 times. And now the lead. That's our 6th lead change. 7 ties, 6 lead changes. Boston to serve, Joey Gross. Joey 6'2", 68 kills, 41 aces on the year.
Looks like he's aiming for the same spot again. It's a good pass by Necker, just a little bit high. Good pickup by Joey Gross. Nice block.
Oh, nice block.
That was good coverage on the block, though. Picked that ball up.
Jacob Weber. We're tied again. That is our 8th tie. Tied at 11. We're tied at 1, tied at 3, tied at 6, tied at 7, tied at 8. Now we're tied at 11. Great job by Foster. Price gets it over. Block
Nice
at
block.
the net. Good job by both teams. No, it don't go over. Boston takes the lead. 7th lead change.
Number 9, Flynn Callan.
Flynn Callan to serve. 23 aces coming in. Oh, beautiful kill.
Nice play by Tech.
Yeah, that's Austin Albany, number 27, who made that kill. And guess what? We're tied again. That's our 9th tie. Serving is Peter Kozlowski. Koppelman. Good set. Here's Kelly. A great job by Kelly. Our 8th lead change. I'm so impressed with Kelly. Not only does he slam the ball, but he's got such great technique at the net.
Absolutely. He's good at moving the ball, which become unpredictable.
Jackson DiNiccolo.
Nice set.
Price. Kelly. At the net.
Oh, good try off the net.
2-point lead now for Falston. Remember, they won the first set. If they win here, they would be within one set of winning the match. Long way to go. Oh, just over the net. I don't think Falston, and there's the point. I don't think Tech really thought the ball was going to clear the net, but they end up getting the point. Make it 14-13 now. Jacob Weber back to serve.
Nice short serve.
It really was. Koppelman keeps it alive. Good job by Price to get it over. Kelly. Tough angle. Good job. Good kill. That by Trevor Birchfeld. Guess what? We're tied again. Our 10th tie. Tied at 14. Fans are into it here tonight. As well they should be. Two great teams playing well. Weber to serve.
Nice pass. Back row attack. Nice back row attack.
Really was.
Net violation on Tech.
Into the net. Lead goes to Falston. Leading by 1. That is our 8th lead change. 10 ties, 8 lead changes. Price to serve. Luke Price headed for the University of Maryland next year, senior. Still alive, Price gets it over.
Nice deep corner ball.
Good little ding.
A little bit of...
That was a backhanded shot by Kelly to keep it alive. That's long.
Little deep.
We're tied. Our 11th tie. Tied at 15.
27, Austin.
Austin Albany.
Nice pass.
Kelly dinks it.
Great. Oh, nice
good job
recovery
keeping
by
it alive.
Tech.
Wow. How did they do that?
Shoots
Kelly.
that. Kelly again.
16-15.
You know, they throw that shoot set up there that changes the speed of the ball, which throws off the defense on Tech. If they're not adjusting their blocks fast enough, they'll never get that block up there.
And Kelly's back to serve. Remember, he ran off some aces in the last game. And just like that, the old announcer jinx. We're tied again. Tied at 16.
Trevor Birchfield back at the serving line.
Our 12th tie.
Nice pass.
Point. Boston. Cougars take the lead again.
Libero back at the serving line. Reese Koppelman.
9th lead change. Into the net. I think that's 3 for Falston this time.
I'm pretty sure they've had a significant number of serving errors this time, and Coach Stewart doesn't look very happy about it. Those serving errors may potentially cost them the game.
13th tie. Timeout by the Falston Cougars. Yeah, we saw Cobras make 3 serving errors in the first game. This time Falston is the one. And you can see Coach talking to his team, Bill Stewart, saying, hey, look, we cannot kill ourselves. Let them make the mistakes.
Especially in a game this tight, the serving is such a key component to the win. If you have the serving errors, you're basically handing the game to the other team.
Yeah, I mean, it looks easy. If you've tried to play the game, you understand that the difference between a great serve and a net serve or a long serve is just a little fraction of an inch.
Absolutely.
So we are tied at 17, our 13th tie. We've had 9 lead changes. There you see Mr. Green, Buddy Green, who is the AD here at North Harford. Buddy just took over this year.
Let's see after this timeout if Gavin can pull this serve off. Nice serve, good coming out of the timeout. Nice pass.
All the kill at the net.
Stuffed again in that block.
That's Joey Gross.
Got Foston taking the lead again.
That is the 10th lead change.
Ellis.
And Gross back to serve. That's going to be long. Our 4th error on serving. We're tied again at 18.
Let's see if he can bring back his Phil Kozlowski on his serving run. That would be pretty much what Harford Tech could use right now.
Bill Kozlowski, the 6'5" captain of the team. Koppelman. Up into the rafters.
Good follow.
And it does
nice
go
touch.
over. Keeping it alive.
Oh, that was nice play.
Oh, great job at the net. That by Kozlowski, Peter Kozlowski. And the lead now goes to Tech at 19-18. The 11th lead change. Bill Kozlowski to serve. Touches the net, but goes over. Oh, they try to kill it. Mistake by the Cobras. We're tied again at 19. That would be the 15th tie of the second game.
Number 9, Flynn Callan. I'm sure he's feeling the pressure right now.
Oh, Flynn Callan says, just let me get it over, which he does.
Nice pass. See if they use it.
Good kill. Kill at the net by Jacob Weber.
Yeah, on defense, they got to get that middle block up there.
The 12th lead change of the game. Peter Kozlowski to serve.
Nice pass. Nice spot.
Beautiful shot, just in.
Great location by number 11. It's Jackson DeNicolo.
Yep.
Now he's going back to serve. Let's see if he can bring it to the serving line.
And we have another tie. That's our 16th tie. Jackson DeNicolo, 25 aces on the year.
Nice pass.
Oh, great kill. That's almost not fair. Jacob Weber. Harford Tech takes the lead again.
Yeah, number 33 serving, Jacob Weber. Oh,
into the net.
Way to follow that ball, though. Nice
Kelly.
recovery for Kelly.
Sort of hit that over his head.
Okay, Foston's got to use this.
At the net.
Recovered on their own block. And
Great
that was
job. Good recovery, good kill. Cobras take a 2-point lead now.
So the ref is calling in the 2 officials.
Kelly Disharoon, the up referee, talking to Rich Moyers. And a point goes to, no, let's see. They pointed to Foston, but gave the point to Tech. Kelly Disharoon calling over the captain, Price, Luke Price, telling him exactly what happened. Luke Price, a senior captain on the team. Appears like he's not happy, but maybe at least satisfied with the explanation. It is a 2-point lead for the Harford Tech Cobras, 3 points away from evening this match.
Timeout.
If you were the coach now, if you were Bill, what would you be telling Bill Stewart? What would you be telling your team?
They got to turn it up right now. They don't have a choice at this point. Like, they've got to bring it. They've got to play smart, but yet they got to get the ball in. But you can't play too safe. If we start playing too safe, strategically, you're not going to get any points. But keeping the serves in, definitely an imperative part of the game. And at this point, I'm looking at the service errors, and I'm going to say Foston's service errors definitely could have potentially caused them this game. 17
ties, 16 lead changes here in this game. I mean, it's been back and forth. No team is led by more than, let's see, 2. It was 14-12. It was, yeah, I'm looking in my notes. Yeah, it looks like no more than 2 goals or 2 points for either team, the lead. And it switched, as we said, for 16 lead changes and 17 ties.
Let's see if Boston can pull themselves back together and finish strong. Need a good pass.
Jacob Weber.
We got Kelly in the front row.
Yep.
Nice pass.
Kelly.
Good shoot set to the corner. That was a nice placement. Yep, net.
In the net.
Under the net.
Point goes to Falston.
Yep.
Back
That's
within
just
1.
what Falston needed right now.
And their captain going back to serve.
Yep.
Luke Price. 11 aces on the year. Good serve.
Good pickup.
Kelly with the save.
See if they use it. Oh, nice tip.
Nice pass, we're
He found that
tied.
hole. Back at a tie again.
Good job by Joey Gross. We are tied for the 18th time. Price to serve again. Remember, you have to win by 2.
Oh,
what
big
a
swing.
kill. Was that Weber who got the kill?
That was a back row attack. That must have been Jacob Weber, yep. Or it could have been Kozlowski in the back row. No, it was definitely Jacob. Let's see.
Weber. It's out.
Just a little deep.
24-23.
This could be game point for Tech.
Tech looking for the game point. They'll send out Austin Almany to do the serving. Austin, the senior on the team.
Okay.
They do get it over. Oh, the great dink. What a play. Just when you didn't expect it, Phil Kozlowski kind of dinks it over with his left hand, and they win by 3
Absolutely.
at 25-22.
What a way to finish the game. He knew, saw that hole in the middle, and he used it.
I mean, you knew for everyone in the world that he was going to set it up and they were going to slam it, but no, he just kind of dinked it over with that left hand. What a beautiful play. 25-22, we are tied at 1 game apiece. We'll go to the 3rd game here. We are short at least now. We're going to at least 4 because you have to win, again, 3 out of 5. So, you know, the next team to win 2 more games. And if it does go to 5, then we go that sort of modified rule where you go to 15. I mean, this is exciting. Think about it. Last year, the Cobras won this thing. They got 16-0 during the year, and they breezed through the finals 3 games to none. Nothing like that this year.
No, 1-1. Let's see who brings the next set.
Think about Falston. They came in 6-8 last year. I mean, who thought Falston would be 14-1 this year? Who thought they would be in the finals? Well, Bill Stewart did, and his team did, and they're here. There you see 2 of our officials talking it over. It has been a well-officiated game, and you know that, Christine. Like, it is such a tough game to do. You've tried it a while, and just being on top of everything. I love how they've communicated one with the other and also with the team.
Absolutely. The boys' teams are even harder to officiate because it's such a fast-paced game.
Yeah.
You have to be able to look at multiple places very quickly. The ball travels at a much faster speed than it does in women's. So there's lots of things you're looking at, and you know they're done a great job tonight.
There you see the coaching staff for the Harford Tech Cobras. That's Alexander Necker. Alexander, the father of Xander Necker, the sophomore who plays on this team, and also Shelly Albany, who's the mother of Austin Albany. So you've got parents who are the assistant coaches for the Harford Tech Cobras. Gary Clement, he's a vice president of a IT company, veteran coach. He's been coaching now in his 5th season here at Harford Tech. Meantime, the Falston Cougars, coached by Bill Stewart. Bill's been coaching volleyball since 2011. He also has coached girls volleyball and now coaches the girls JV basketball team. And he is a retired employee of the Little Debbie company that makes all those great. I asked him, do you have any samples still left? I'll take a few. Little Debbie is my, so I'm in the grocery store and I kind of walk by that with my eyes closed because I know I'm going to pick up at least 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, I definitely could not work there.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, here we
Looks
go.
like Fallston Cougars are ready to bring it for game 3.
A great comeback by the Cobras. They were trailing in that game. We talked about 18 ties, 16 lead changes, and finally the Cobras got the lead at 23-22, and they added 2 more points to make it 25-22 to win the game. So, Christine, what do the Cougars have to do here to be able to recover and win this 3rd game?
I'm gonna take it back to serving.
Yeah.
You know, we had a substantial number of serving errors. I want to say probably about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I do believe that cost them the game. The first game they had 0 serving errors and they were able to come out on top. So I feel like if Fallston can get those serves in, you know, they have a better chance of winning on game 3.
Jackson to Niccolo, number 11. Flynn Callan, number 9. Getting ready to serve is Kozlowski.
That's a great serve to start the game.
Just about an inch over the net.
Oh, nice touch by number 9.
Good job by Flynn Callan. So Fallston takes the early lead, 1-0. That will send Gross back to do the serving. Got to keep it alive. They do. Kozlowski gets it across. All the attempted. That time Luke Price tried to dink it over. It didn't work. We're tied at 1. Peter Kozlowski, 36 aces on the year.
Nice up by Tech.
Santiago. Good job by Thomas Santiago, the LeBaron. We haven't talked about LeBarons, what they do, who they are. You see he's got a different colored jersey.
Yes, our liberos are defensive specialists. They're generally our best passer on the team, best defensively.
That looked like a violation of the serve, but they didn't get called.
So no, as long as he's in the air, he can cross the line as long as he's in the air. So the plane of the line does not matter. It's the official line. He has to step on the court. So it was not, but it was awfully close.
Boy, it was. It looked like he was kind of off on his play.
Yep. I'm going to guess his toss was a little off, and he was just trying to adjust. So now they're questioning.
Yeah, it looked like a Fallston point, but they're going to.
Fallston saying there was a touch.
Calling in the other line referee. Here you'll see this replay.
See what it. Up. There we go. A little bit hard to see from there.
Yeah, they're going to give the point to the Cobras. It's now 3-1. Peter Kozlowski. Out, just out. That was close. That could have been out by more than a couple of inches. Lynn Callan now to serve for Fallston, trying to tie it up. Good save.
Okay, Fallston's chance.
Niccolo saves that one. Kelly.
There we go.
3-3, our second tie. When the ball gets to Kelly, you know, good things happen if you're Fallston.
He can move that ball around, which is a great thing to be able to do on the front line as an outside hitter.
Flynn Callan to serve. Beautiful serve, just about an inch over the net.
Oh, good pickup, nice. And
the dink.
Okay, let's see what they do.
Good set, here's
net on Tech.
Into the net.
Okay, Fallston takes the lead again.
Yeah, Fallston gets the lead. Up at 4-3. That's their first lead here. Actually, they led 1-0, so their second lead. Flynn Callan to serve. Great shot. Good kill, that's Weber. We're tied again, our third tie. Third tie in the third game. Jacob Weber to serve.
Nice pass. See. There we go.
Good kill. Good set. Jackson to Nicolo gets the kill. That's our third lead change. We had 3 ties and 3 lead changes. Jackson to Nicolo. It's in. Looked like some confusion on the part of the Cobras. That ball was well in. A 2-point lead now for Fallston. They were down by 2 a moment ago. Good kill. That by number 24.
That ball may have been out.
Trevor Birchfeld
And we get number 27
to serve.
Austin
Almany.
Nice one-arm pass. Not the prettiest, but
it works.
It got there.
Almany with the kill.
That block is way far outside. They need to pull that block in more for a cross-court hit.
Second is Trevor Birchfeld with the kill. We're tied at 6. Our 4th tie of the game. Almany to serve. Goes up in the rafters. It hit that antenna. And again, that is out of play if it hits that antenna. Lead goes to the Cobras. 4th lead change. Almany. Got to go over, and does. Oh, the kill.
You know, that setter, number 29, he's got the height as a setter, so he utilizes it. If that pass is close to the net, he just takes a swing at it, which is totally offsetting the defense from the Cougars because they're waiting for that 3rd hit, and he's hitting it on number 2.
4 straight points for the Cobras.
A little tight.
Good job by Price to get it over. That's going to be out. Breaks that 4-point run that the Cobras had, 8-7. Back to serve is Luke Price. Good job by Kelly keeping it alive. And it goes over.
Nice block.
Block at the net. Another
Nice
block
block
at the net.
Oh, good play off the block.
Kelly. And finally, the Cobras get the point. About 2 or 3 great blocks there at the net.
That was a nice rally.
Aiden Robinson, number 7 in the game, made 2 or 3 of those great blocks. But the point goes to the Cobras. They lead now 9-7.
Bill Stewart's calling a timeout.
Christine, that may have been the most exciting exchange we've seen this entire match.
That was definitely the longest rally we've seen so far.
Officials conferring while the timeout there. You see the Cobras with their backers behind them, all the signs and everything. It's just great competition. And again, this is the state championship because we're the only county in the state that has fall boys volleyball. Yep. So you win this and you are the state champions.
It's a great thing for them. It's really neat that the county still offers it. And hope to see it grow to more counties in the state.
I remember back in 1975 when the late great Al Sesky brought boys volleyball into the county. He also brought swimming, he brought lacrosse, he brought 4 or 5 other sports that hadn't been played. And boys volleyball just has been a staple of this county. Bel Air has won like 8 of the last 12 titles, but this year and the last year, Bel Air's been down a bit.
Hey, good pickup. See if Fallston.
Fallston down by 2. Now down by
nice
3
swing.
on the kill. That's Peter Kozlowski.
And Harford Tech definitely has the momentum right now. Boston's got to be able to break that.
Boy, very good point, Christine. You just can't let it get away from you. We talked to Coach Bill Stewart, and he said we've got to avoid runs, and that's what kills you in this game.
This might be one of the biggest leads we've had so far in a while.
Yep, a 3-point lead. We had a 4-point lead a few moments ago, but now it's 3. Set.
There you go.
And a kill.
That's what Boston needed. They needed that.
When you're in trouble, go to your ace. Sean Kelly. Sean was the Aegis October Player of the Week earlier this year.
You know, great for Boston. He's only a junior. Still got another year of playing eligibility.
What a kill. Up and no defense at all. Peter Kozlowski.
Got to get that block up.
3-point lead for the Cougars. We're tied at 1 game apiece. New player in the game. Alexander Necker, sophomore, number 30 in the game. There's the kill again.
That's 2 in a row for him.
There's that 4-goal lead at 12-8. Peter Kozlowski, a couple minutes older than his brother Phil Kozlowski, number 29.
Nice, great pass. See, nice block, but it was out.
Block. Point Boston. You're right, it was a good block at the net, but just went wide. And now Reese Koppelman, Oopa Loopa, as they call him.
Nice serve to the deep corner, good pass. Let's see if they use it.
Off Koppelman, out of bounds. Back up to a 4-point lead for the Cobras.
Now, let's see if number 29.
Bill Kozlowski.
He had a couple good runs with serving. Let's see if he can do it again.
Captain of this team as a junior. Good save by Koppelman, but it will not go over. That's the biggest lead so far at 15 or 14-9. It's a 5-point lead.
Nice.
In is the call. That'll make it 15-9 with a 6-point lead.
Up. And it looks like the up official overrode that.
Okay, yeah.
And she called it out. So the point actually goes to Boston.
Yeah, that's a key call. So instead of being 6 points, it's 4 points.
You know, that's a tough call for that line judge. When that ball is so close to you and traveling at such a high speed, up, and that is a legal play off his foot. But as a line judge, you know, when that ball is so close to you, that's a tough call to make. The up official has a different perspective, and sometimes it's easier for them to see those balls that are so tight to the line. So she just made the call over that.
Back to the 5-point lead. Peter Kozlowski.
Nice serve.
Does go over.
Net Boston.
Into the net. Point goes to the Cobras. Now it's a 6-point lead.
Timeout again, Bill Stewart.
For a good timeout. The match is about ready to get away from Boston. They've got to slow down the momentum. Bill Stewart was telling us that the one thing he wants to avoid is a run like this where the Cobras get hot and they just get point after point. They've been playing them, like we've been saying, tie, with lead change, but now the Cobras have put on a show and now they're up by 6. What do you do if you're Boston?
You know, it's all about the mental game at this point. Skill-wise, Boston has the skill. Right now they're in their heads probably, and they just need to get out of their heads and they need to bring it back. You know, it's amazing how much volleyball is a mental game sport, and they got to turn around. And it looks like they're coming out of their timeout in a good place. Hopefully they'll be able to break the cycle of Harford Tech right now.
Well, you see one of our fans very excited about the game. especially with the Harford Tech Cobras doing as well as they are. Good contingent. We're here in the home side, and we've got Boston fans to our right, Harford Tech fans to our left, and Christina, just remember, we're in the middle. Point 7 now.
You know, the Kozlowski brothers this game have brought the serving. They've picked up the speed of their serves. No serving errors at this point, I don't believe, this game.
Peter, number 19, serving.
Oh, that's going to be a foot violation, yep.
Stepped on that line. That's a break for the Cougars. Pick up a point at 17-11 now. Still down by 6.
Falston needed this. Let's see if they can bring it back.
Glenn Callan.
Nice pass. Off the touch.
Good job by Koppelman keeping it alive. Price gets it over.
Nice block.
Great block at the net. That's DiNicola. Here come the Cougars down now by 5. But you love that never say die attitude.
Absolutely, and they're hopefully they're going to come back point by point.
Glenn Callan with the serve. There it is.
Another nice play by Falston.
DiNicola, 13-17, back within 4. They were down by 7 at 17-10 just a moment ago. Now they're back within 4.
And
Kelly
that was a touch.
Yep, it's going to be a point for Falston. Back within 3. I mean, they were down 7 points. They were out of this match. And now they've come back. Still down by 3, though.
Got Coach Gary looking a little nervous over there.
Coach can do nothing but sit and hope. Great serve.
Nice hit. Nice up.
Good save.
Let's see Kelly again.
Kelly.
Off the okay, let's see if they get it.
And they do get it. It's now 17-15.
Defensively, that was a nice play by number 19. He got a nice hand on it.
Peter
Just a little bit
Kozlowski.
far off. Yeah.
Yep. They have now scored 5 straight points, have the Cobras, coming from 7 down to 2 down.
Looks like Flynn Callan's feeling a little bit of the pressure. He just kind of took a deep breath, knowing the importance of getting these serves in.
Good set.
Lack of communication. Nice pass by the libero. See if he does it again.
Kelly
Oh.
No, it's going to be point. 17-16.
Nice play by Kelly again.
What a rally. They have scored 6 straight points. There you see the Falston crowd. And a timeout. You can see Bill Stewart, the biggest cheer of all. Boy, what a comeback. I mean, you're down 10 points. You're down to, what, 16-10 or 17-10, and it looks like it's all over.
Importance of serving.
Yeah.
They haven't missed a serve this game. And Callan's doing a nice job of walking back each time, taking that deep breath, making sure he's not serving super aggressively, but he's making sure that ball goes in. Hopefully after the timeout, he'll make sure that's the most important serve after a timeout is the first serve.
Yeah.
So let's see if he can get that serve in, keep that run going.
Gary Clement, the coach for the Harford Tech Cobras, trying to find the solution to this run that Falston's put together. We talked about the runs of Harford Tech, but this run by Falston, Christine, you said it, the key by the great serving they've done. And great teamwork. They played well as a group. Firing up the fans are the Falston players. Let's see if they can come all the way back.
Callan with a deep breath at the serving line.
Glenn Callan.
Serve went in. Now Harford Tech, it's up to Harford Tech. Good block.
At the net by Kelly.
Nice coverage.
Price.
Nice setup.
Kelly
A little
long.
bit deep.
There's the point that the Cobras needed. They go up by 2 now. Weber to serve. The all-important service. Oh no, it does not go over. Ball back to Falston. They are now within a point again.
Let's see, we got number 11, Jackson DeNicolo.
Yeah, Jackson has 6 aces on the year. Check at 25 aces on the year. Block at the net. We are tied at 18-18. What a tremendous comeback.
Now the key for Falston right now is keeping their serves in.
And a point goes to
Calling
Falston.
that a lift. Okay.
Christina, if you had told me they would come back and take the lead down 17-10, I would have said, nah. DeNicolo switching the service area.
Nice defense.
Oh, great at the net. Breaking that scheme. Good job by number 32, Gavin Beaumont.
And we're tied again. We're back at the beginning of the game.
The folks are as good as the people. We're tied at 19.
Nice serve by number 27.
Ellie.
There we go. Net on tech.
Point Falston. Falston goes up by 1 at 2019. Luke Price to serve. The captain. Oh, great dink. That's
Good play by the
Kozlowski.
setter on 29. When Falston least expected, he throws over those balls.
2020. We saw him do that to get the game-winning point last game. We're now tied at 20, 7 tie.
24, Trevor Birchfield. Let's see.
Into the
And
net. Goodness me.
It's not the time for service errors. But that's a lot of pressure being back there at the net like that, you know, at the serving line when you're at game, you know, close, so close to game point
And
with
that
it.
leaping serve, there's so many things that can go wrong. Kelly.
Nice serve by Kelly.
Oh,
Nice
the
swing
goal.
by number 19.
Kozlowski, Peter Kozlowski. We're tied again. 8th tie.
And who we have? Number 32.
Beaumont. Gavin Beaumont, the sophomore.
Way to keep the ball in. Nice shoot set, good push. Off the net. Oh,
Oh, up and got the point. Oh no, they're going to give it to Falston. They're going to say he was over the net. What a key call. Falston's going to take the lead at 22-21. I think that was the right call. I think that ball was still on Falston's side.
yeah, so and if it's a third ball, then they can play it when it's over the net, but if it's only a second ball, they cannot play it.
Here you'll see the replay, and you just saw that. It looked like he indeed was over the net. That's the kill. That's what they needed. Peter Kozlowski. We're tied again, 22-22.
This is anybody's game still.
Phil Kozlowski, number 29, the junior, captain of the team.
Nice serve, good
Great
pass.
serve.
Let's see.
Price with the set. Santiago.
Good
Block
block.
at the net.
Good pass. Nice swing, good coverage. Good
great
block
block.
again. Way to not.
Out
Yeah,
it is.
oh
Point
my.
Falston.
You know, number 9 wanted to reach over that net so bad for that ball, and he held himself back.
So the Cougars now are 2 points away from winning this second set.
Nice serve.
Great serve into the rafters.
Good defense. Coverage.
Price setting it up.
Lots of safe plays right now because nobody wants to make the error.
In. Great play by 29. That's Phil Kozlowski. We are tied again.
Now we have Kozlowski, who's had a very aggressive serve, which, you know, could benefit Tech. We just got to keep the ball in.
Remember, you have to win by 2, so if you can get that 24th point, you're assured of at least extending the game. Out is the call. And so now it is game point Falston, leading by 1. Wow. Serving for the second game is Flynn Cowan.
And we've got the Fallston fans standing.
Good serve.
He was the last one that ran the nice run of points. Good deep ball.
Good block, but it's out. We're tied, 24-24. That means we are short of going overtime. You can't win 25-24.
At number 33, Jacob Weber back at the line.
Big key serve. Gets it in. Fink over the net.
And then there's Harford Tech in the net.
Cobras.
20.
No, let's see. They're going to give the point to Fallston. I thought Fallston was in the net.
Yeah, he caught Harford Tech in the net.
Okay, 25. Now
this
it is
could be
game point. Good serve. Still
Good
alive.
defense. Up. Somebody's got a nice follow of that ball.
Got to go over. Does.
Okay.
Out it is! Fallston comes back and wins this game.
Wow, what a great game.
26-24. They were down by 7 and came all the way back to win this game, this second game, at 26-24. My goodness. You can see the Fallston fans are sort of grabbing their chest and trying to breathe a little bit. They were down by 7 points where the Fallston Cougars came back to win this thing by 26-24. That means now they are up 2-1. If they can win this game, they will win the championship. Now, if you're the Cobras, if you're Gary Clement, you just simply have to tell your team, hey, look, it's that game, we can't do anything about it. We have to get back and play our game. We let the Cougars come back into the game. We had them down 17-10, and we could not close it out. They were able to come back and all the way back and tie the game and then win it by 26-24. Wow. That's all I said. That's my comment, is unbelievable. The reserve, the perseverance that Fallston had to be able to come back. Now, here's the question. If you're the Harford Tech Cobras, you won last year 16-0. You won the championship. You just breezed through the championship. You're 14-1. You defeated C. Milton Wright 3 times. C. Milton Wright had defeated Fallston. You had lost to Fallston early in the year. So you've got all these factors that can lead you to, to rally if you can and come back to win. They have to win 2 in a row. If the Cobras can win this game, they'll force a 5th and deciding game, and that would be that game of 15. Fans, I don't know about you, but I am excited. Don Morrison, my partner Christine Mitchell, glad to be here from North Harford High School. Brady Green, the athletic director. I think I called him Buddy Green a little while ago. Sorry, Brady. Brady Green, the athletic director here at North Harford, hosting this 2025 championship between the Fallston Cougars and the Harford Tech Cobras. I'm not sure what you could have expected in terms of a championship match, but it is everything that I could even have hoped for in terms of a fan. Looking at these games, going back to the first game, the Cobras won it by 25-23. The Cougars win it by 25-23. In the second game, the Cobras come back and win it 25-22. In the third game, it's 26-24. The Fallston Cougars coming back. Christine Mitchell, you're back. I think you have your breath caught.
I do.
Yeah,
thank you.
No problem.
I didn't expect it to be such a long game.
7 points down. I mean, if you had asked me, does Fallston have a chance of coming back, I'd say no. The momentum has shifted completely. Now, if you're the Cobras, how do you get it back?
Yep, and I'm going to tell you, I feel like all of these games are coming down to serving errors. They're pretty equivalently matched as far as skill, but the serving errors I think are what's changing the game around. Fallston had a lot of serving errors the first game. Tech's had a decent amount the last 2 games. So, I think focus on keeping that ball in and playable and let the teams make the errors.
And obviously getting ahead early, getting the momentum as quickly as you can. If you're Fallston, all you have to do, is win this game and you win the championship.
Yeah.
If you're the Cobras, you've got to win this game and the next game.
You know, Foston looks like they're ready to come out strong. Hopefully they won't get down in this game.
Joey Gross to serve. It's long.
That service error again.
Yeah, that's what you don't want to see happen. You're down 1-0, so you had to serve, and now you're the service error. Now to serve Phil Kozlowski. Phil with 52 aces on the year coming in. And now he has another ace. It's a 2-point lead for the Cobras. Exactly what they needed, Christine. You couldn't draw it up any better if you're Gary Clement. Phil Kozlowski. Got to go over, and it does.
Nice clean third ball. Deep corner.
Out is the call.
And it looks like the up official overrode that again and called that in.
Yeah, it looked in here. Looked like it hit the line. The line is in. And unlike in some sports where the line is out, the line is in. So that's the third point.
And I'm going to
for
go
the Cobras.
back down to the line officials. When those balls land so close to your feet, it definitely is tough to make that call.
What a great serve right over the net.
Nice.
Oh, great job. Good recovery by Falston. That's Flynn Callan.
Puts Falston back on the board.
Again, just when it looks like the Cougars are about ready to fold, they make the play to come back.
So this is number 9. This is Flynn Callan. He had that long run in the last game
And
that gave them that lead, that made them in that comeback.
Yeah, Christine, he's the one that made that play. And it gets the
what a
gets
great
the
way to start it
in.
off. Great way to start off with an ace.
So Flynn Callan gets the point and then gets the service ace to get the second point. Now a chance to tie it. Flynn Callan has 23 aces on the year, senior, headed for UMBC next year. Kind of a change of pace on that. Still in and gets over. There's the dink. Good save by Tech. Block at the net by Kelly. Oh, a great dink. It's at Weber, 33.
Yeah, it's that middle coverage. Falston definitely seems to struggle with those balls right in the middle of the court.
And now Peter Kozlowski. Oh, great set, Kelly. Santiago, block at the net. That's DiNiccolo. Point for Falston, back within 1. DiNiccolo back to serve. Jackson DiNiccolo, 6'3", middle hitter. Great serve. Boy, beautiful save. Nice conversion by Kelly. Nope, can't get it over. Cobras will get the point. 5-3. Great job that time by the Cobras. Robinson, number 7, to keep it alive. But the Cobras hung with it and got the point. Weber, oh, over the net. It hits the net, but gets over. Kelly, a great save by Kelly.
Nice block.
Robinson, unable to get it across, so it's a 3-point lead for the Cobras. 6-3.
Hey, Harford Tech looks like they're trying to pull out ahead again.
Weber to give the serve. Boy, Robinson has come in and given the Cobras a good job off the bench. There's Robinson. It's going to be out. 4-point lead for the Cobras. I mean, yeah, they came back from 7 points, Christine, but you just don't want to get down. You can't come back every time.
It's exhausting. They have to work twice as hard when they do that.
Beautiful serve. Oh,
nice swing by number 10.
By Kelly. But Christine, it seems like every time you need a play, it's Kelly making the play.
He's definitely solid, and it's great to think he's a junior. So Falston got him back next year again.
Price now, Luke Price to serve.
Nice.
Good recovery. Kozlowski, Peter Kozlowski gets it over. Again, Peter Kozlowski again.
Oh,
It gets over. It's still
nice
alive.
save.
Oh, and they get it over.
That was a nice save by number 29.
And Bomert, number 32.
There we go.
Off the hands of Kozlowski. Point for the Cobras, or should say for the Cougars. Back within 2 at 7-5.
Okay.
Luke Price back to serve again. Luke, the setter. Kind of the unsung hero of this team. Great hit.
Blocking the side. Yeah, Luke's got a great, Luke has a great demeanor about him. He stays calm. He stays rational. Even at the service line, you can see how calm he is.
That was Trevor Birchfeld with the point.
And
That's
service
into the
error
net
by
again. That is so critical. Looks so easy. Point to the Cobras. I should say to the Cougars. Down by 2. Here's DeNicolo. Hits the top of the net and goes over.
It's that middle again.
Koppelman
Nice
with the save.
recovery.
Let's see what the referee Disharoon calls. They're going to say point Falston. Back within 1 at 8-7. Christine, what was that? Did you see it?
So they're calling that a lift. It looks like he probably was below his head when he was passing that ball.
Kelly with the mistake. He's been so steady. That time just a little bit long. 2-point lead.
Nice pass. Let's see. Put that ball down. Good recovery
Still
off the
alive.
block.
Got to go over, and does.
Deep corner.
Koppelman, Price.
There you go.
That left-handed kill shot. Great job by Joey Gross. Well set up. 9-8. Robinson will sit down. And here's Oopa Loopa, Reese Koppelman to serve. Great kill. Good job by Peter Kozlowski. Yeah, I asked the Falston players, are there any nicknames that you have? Oh yeah, Oopa Loopa. I said, how did you get that name? I don't know. They just gave it to me and I like it.
Reese is only a sophomore, so he's got a couple more years on this varsity squad.
A lot of young players here.
Oh, that ball may have been out.
Yeah, boy, that was a key decision to make.
That's a nice touch. That height adds in when you're in the back row. Nice defense.
Koppelman.
Oh.
Got to go over. It'll come down eventually. Oh no, come on, it's coming down.
It's coming.
Trust me.
Oh no.
Okay.
Not sure.
I think the ruling is that they do the point over.
It looks like what she called was a jump ball, which means a replay.
A jump ball. I am not going to be able to jump up and get that. I'm sorry.
Probably more of replay, yep. So that's crazy. I don't think in ever.
You'll see the ball hung up on the light standard. So that was no point. It's a do-over.
He waited patiently for that ball to come down, that's for sure.
Block at the net.
Up.
Great play.
Great pickup.
That was Kelly who made that diving play. This time the kill by Peter Kozlowski. Christine, such skill on both sides.
Absolutely.
Gavin Bomert. Price.
That was a good try. There's not a lot he can do with that ball. He's a back row player right now. That ball is that tight to the net. He can't hit the ball over because he's a back row player. So really he needs to be able to try to drop below the net and pull that ball out of the net. It's a really tough play.
Yeah.
And especially on angles, based on angles, where that ball was coming from, where he was, that made it hard for him to follow.
Christine, look at Bill Stewart. You can see that at some point he's like fired up in their face. Now he's calming down. Look, we're only down 4. You were down 7 last game. This game is not over. Just take your time, make your play. That's kind of my impression and my interpretation of what Bill Stewart is saying.
I would think that he's probably on the same place. He knows his team is capable of doing it now, so got to just keep them in the right frame of mind, encourage them.
There's Gary Clement, the coach for the Harford Tech Cobras, and he's telling him, there's the ball. It's still there. That ball may be there like 50 years from now. You'll come back to North Harford High School. How did that ball get up there? And we'll have a record of how it happened.
It looks like Foston's coming back in high spirits, ready to take back some points.
Go up there and get the ball down. And I'm asking one of the spectators, just climb up. You'll get it? No. Okay. Okay, here we go now. 12-8, the lead for the Cobras, trying to even this match at 2 games apiece.
Nice serve. He was nice and relaxed during that serve. Good setup.
Koppelman. Oh, that kill. That's Kozlowski.
Yeah, that was a gift to number 29.
Bill
Send that ball
Kozlowski.
slightly over that net like that, and it's a front row player's dream.
And that is the 5-point lead, biggest lead of the match for the Cobras. Gavin Bomert.
You know,
Gavin, just a sophomore.
Crazy, you see Kozlowski with that great swing, but he is their setter. You know,
Yeah.
so it's nice that he does get to do some swings still.
A 6'5" setter. That's not bad.
Now there are definitely some advantages to that.
There's the kill again.
It looks like we
Kozlowski.
got Tech taking a nice lead again.
He's come up big. 14-8 now. A 6-point lead. Remember, they were up by 7 last game. Gavin Bomert.
Nice
There's
swing.
Joey. Joey Gross has come up big for Boston here in this match.
Yeah, maybe that's what the swing they needed. Got number 13 going back to line, Joey Gross.
And Joey will be doing the serving.
It's going to be deep.
Out. Tough one.
So that's Boston's 3rd service error.
That'll send Mr. Phil Kozlowski, the setter, the 6'5" captain setter. Phil, the younger brother of Peter Kozlowski, his twins, a couple minutes older, I'm told. Into the net. Maybe the break that Falston needed. Down by 5 now. They'll send Flynn Cowan back to serve. Christine, you made the point that he had a nice run in that last game.
Very good thing for Boston. Let's see how they use it.
Kelly. Out. The
Yep.
point goes to Falston. Nice block at the net, but it goes out, so Falston gets the point.
And that was a good eye by Kelly because he could have easily played that ball, but he watched it.
Callan now for the service, back within 4. Tough one. Good kill. That'll make it 16-11. Back to a 5-point lead for the Cobras. Peter Kozlowski to serve.
Nice pass.
Out it goes. Point Boston.
Boston's not giving up, that's for sure.
16-12. Yeah, both these teams know what's at stake. The county championship, bragging rights for a year.
There we go.
Here's Jackson to Nicholas. Tries, but it's in. And the point. That makes it a 3-point lead.
Nice change up by Price.
Notice that Nicholas has moved over to the near side of the court on his serve. It hits the net, but goes over.
Some of the toughest balls, just playoff serve receiver balls that hit that net. That ball just becomes unpredictable.
Correct me if I'm wrong, in the old days, going back years, if it hit the net, they're called a net ball.
Correct, and actually the serve went to the other team.
Yeah. Now if it hits the net and goes over, how long ago did they make that change?
You know,
Another
it was made at the same time that rally scoring changed. So when we went to 25 game points in rally scoring, they made all of the serving changes also. It really just, the purpose of those rule changes were to speed up the games.
Yeah.
Which
Christine,
it does speed up the games.
they were down by 6 points again, and now they're down by 1. I mean, this Boston team, you just got to give them credit, the heart they have. And now it's tied.
Unbelievable.
We are tied at 16.
Crowd's getting a little louder for Foston.
That is the first tie of this game. Boston got down early, down by 6, and now they're tied. Jackson to Nicholas to serve. Remember, if Boston wins this game, they win the championship. Oh, great job. That's Weber. Weber who gets the kill, and now the lead change goes back to the Cobras by 1. Second lead change we've had. Kelly blocked.
Big swing, and that block was in.
And they're going to say it was in on the block. So the point goes to the Cobras. They're up by 2.
Looks like Harford Tech wasn't ready to walk off the court yet. It came back fighting again.
Absolutely. Oh, now it's a 3-point lead. We'll give the Cobras so much credit. Boston had come all the way back.
Yep, Coach Stewart calling a timeout.
Amazing. Boston was down by 6. The Cobras were down by 1 after Boston came all the way back, and now they're back up by 3. Fighting for their lives. They need this game to be able to extend it to a 5th game. Now, Christine, you wouldn't want to just go 4 games and go home, right? We want to see a 5th game.
I can't complain because this is better than watching the Super Bowl because, we don't want a blowout. What fun is watching a blowout? Like, this is competitive volleyball. This is great volleyball, point-for-point volleyball. Wouldn't want a game any other way.
Well, last night I'm going to watch a little bit of the World Series, and I got interested and went to the 10th inning and the 11th inning. And I said, well, I better get to bed while I'm watching the 18 innings. Come on.
Wow.
18 innings. It was 3 o'clock in the morning when the game finally finished.
Wow, that's amazing.
I was long since asleep, trust me. Yeah, great World Series.
Okay,
Speaking of great, here we are. This is Jacob Weber. Luke Price is going to talk to the official. Also the captain of the other team, Phil Kozlowski, the other team being the Cobras. Not sure what that conversation was all about. Christine, any guess what they may have been talking about?
Not sure at this point.
They both walked away seemingly satisfied. Jacob Weber. Kelly, the dink. That might have been out.
Oh, lack of communication almost happened on Foston's side.
Kelly with the field on the
It's
block.
gonna be a net violation.
In the net.
Harford Tech.
Going to Foston. Why is the net such a big deal? Why, if you're in the net and touch the net, why are they calling the point?
I think it's just one of those things. Some of it goes down to safety, to be honest with you. Like, at what point then don't you call a net violation if a player plows into the net? We need to make sure we keep the player safe. And that was critical.
Hit the top of the net and then fell back. So it's a 20th point for the Cobras.
And I feel like that may have been his first serving error of the night.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure on number 27 back there.
Austin Almany, the lone senior on this team, handles it well.
Okay, got to use it. Nice set.
Gross.
Oh, great spot.
Oh, my goodness. He went up and they expected that slam. Instead, they got the dink.
That was a great play. Now we got Kelly back on the service line. I believe last time he served, he did have a serving error.
He did. He was long last time.
Let's keep the ball in. Let them make the mistake. Nice tip by 29 again.
Yeah, that's Phil Kozlowski.
They're both out now. They both want to win, so they're pulling everything out of the trick bag.
This is Trevor Birchfeld. Trevor has that running serve. Good job by Weber. Block at the net, but it stays on the Boston side.
22-18. Boston can still come back.
Within 3 points of winning the second game and extending to a 5th game. Birchfeld Koppelman. Saved. Good job by Price to keep it saved. It's in. Kozlowski, Peter Kozlowski with the kill. And now the Cobras within 2 points of equalizing this match at 2 games apiece. Koppelman.
Tight ball.
It falls, and the Cobras are now 4 points up at 23-19. Just no give up on either side.
I believe what the down official is going to call. So the setter is currently in the back row, and he jumped and touched the ball above the plane of the net, I believe is what the down ref may be having a conversation about. And the ball did go over onto the other side.
Rich Moyers.
And now he's calling a replay on something.
Okay, replay. So take the point off, make it 23-18. Well, good job by the officials to get together. Rich Moyers going over and explaining to Bill Stewart exactly what happened. Richard coached for many years Seamilton Wright and Patterson Mill. Now he's an official.
Oh.
Nope. Had to change it up, couldn't get it over. And that'll make it 23-19.
We got Koppelman, Reese Koppelman. He's another com at the serving line.
The sophomore wears a different color jersey because he is a specialist called a libero. Beautiful serve. I don't think Boston thought that was going to, or I should say Harford Tech thought it was going to get across. But it did. And now Boston is within 3 of tying it. And you have to win by 2. Koppelman. And again. Wow. If you're the Cobras, the ghost of game pass is kind of in your head now.
You know, and he's, like I said, his serve is not hard, but it's...
Yeah, it's got some spin or something on it. And
oh,
it hits a net. Good! Goodness gracious.
Oh, and you know what's crazy is that ball hit his foot. It was actually still live ball. Falston was already celebrating. So if that third ball would have gone in, wow, actually Falston would have lost the point.
23-22,
you don't see that happen often. That was a nice pass. And
the kill.
Put the ball down.
Now it's game point for the Cobras. If they get this point, they win the second set. I should say the fourth set, and they're tied at 2. Boston trying to get at least 2 points to extend it.
Let's see.
Bomert.
That was rafter ball. Way to chase it out. Good talk.
Oh, great play. Great play by Bomert. Gross. And the block on the point and the game. 25-22. Indeed, we will go to a 5th set. 2 games apiece. Wow. Christine, again, how much did we pay to get here tonight? Nothing.
Oh, but what great volleyball we get the privilege of watching.
Oh, it is great fun. And we're happy that the viewing public for Harford TV gets a chance to see this. Christine, this is our last event of the fall season, sad to say. Our 32nd year on the air with Harford TV. Just so happy to be able to be among the great sports that we see here in Harford County.
It's been a great year to watch some sports in Harford County.
There you see Rich Moores. He's tossing the coin. What's the coin toss about? Who will be
so
serving?
Who gets served? Yep.
The shaking of the hands. I'm not sure who won that coin toss.
Looks like, I'm going to guess Harford Tech gets the serve based on Rich's point to Harford. Or maybe Falston, because Falston is celebrating. I'm not really sure, actually. It'd go either way.
We'll have to see, but this is a 15-point game, not a 25-point game. It's first to 15, but again, you have to win by 2.
So it looks like Rich Moyer just indicated that Harford Tech does have the serve to start the game. I always like to look at it as my team, if we don't get the first serve, we get first kill. Because, you know, and if they can bring that first kill.
Well, we've seen momentum. We've seen momentum shifts. We've seen how Falston's been able to come back, and then the Cobras were able to come back. This has just been one exciting championship match. Last year, you know, you give Harford Tech credit. They win 3 straight games against the North Harford Hawks. It was kind of over before it started. You were here. Now this year, it has been a true championship match between 2 teams that were both 14-1. It's exactly what you expect. And remember, the Falston Cougars had defeated Harford Tech first game of the year, early in the year, September the 12th. But Harford Tech defeated C. Milton Wright a total of 3 times. C. Milton Wright had given Falston its only loss.
So this game can go anywhere. Let's see who shows up and finishes it.
Exciting. Don't go away. This is going to be exciting. Again, 15, so you can't get down early because you don't have that room to come back.
And serving is definitely going to be a key to this game.
Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen the missed serves, the ones in the net or the ones long, have cost one team or the other, points.
And when you're only playing to 15, every point counts.
And here we go. Falston won the first set. Tech came back and won the second. Falston won the third, 26-24. Tech wins the fourth one by 25-22. And now here we go to the 5th and deciding match or set of this match. How exciting. I mean, it cannot get any more tense. The fans are sitting, kind of on their, you hear them clapping now? That's the Falston fans, and the Harford Tech fans will soon take up the chant. And here come the Tech fans. Nice contingent, probably got at least 300 or 400 people here. Christine, I can't hear myself talk.
I know, it's so loud in here.
Probably a good thing.
On both sides.
Oh.
I think both sides brought equivalent fans.
Bill Kozlowski with the serve and the point. I'm not sure that Falston was ready. Kozlowski dropped it right in that no man's land. And his second serve, just like that, it's 2-0. So that coin flip could be key. Bill Kozlowski gets the third one.
So
if
you notice, Don, it's interesting. So Kozlowski is aiming right where the setter is, because obviously they want him passing the first ball. So if you watch him, he's trying to duck. But he keeps trying to aim right at that area, because that makes for the hardest area for them to pass from.
4-0. Wow. Bill
Timeout already.
Yeah, if I'm Bill Stewart, you've got to call a timeout. What adjustment do you make, Christine?
If it was me, I'd change the adjustment of where my setter placement is. I'd pull my setter up to the net. If he's in the front row, I have to look again, but I believe he might be in the front, or he might be in the back row. But I would definitely be pulling my setter up out of the serve receive pattern more, eliminating that.
Well, Phil Kozlowski had 92 kills coming in. The setter, the 6'5" setter, we talked about that, having a setter with that kind of size.
Yep.
You normally think of a setter as being the little 5'10", 5'8" guy.
Absolutely. It's got some nice add-ons when you have a tall setter. So I'm not sure what adjustments they're making.
Phil Kozlowski in the sports medicine program at Harford Tech, just a junior. His twin brother, Peter Kozlowski, both in the sports medicine program.
Aimed right for the same exact spot again.
And there it is. Boy, 5 points in a row. Phil Kozlowski, you are a weapon. Oh, the break that Falston needed.
That was a great 5-run lead, though.
It was. Again, it's only to 15 points. You know that. So 10 more points, and the Cobras have the championship. Joy Gross to serve. And now, just like that, here come the Cobras. There's no, I should say, here come the Cougars. No die in Falston. We've seen this before. They came back from 7 points, came back from 6 points. Gross.
Nice set. Good touch. And that.
Oh, nice kill. DiNiccolo. So they were down 5-0. Now they're down 5-3. What a comeback. I don't think I've seen teams, both Boston and Harford Tech, be able to come back the way these teams have. Well, there's the kill. That's what we needed, the Kozlowski brothers teaming up. 6-3. And now it's Peter Kozlowski going back to serve.
Each great play is answered with another great play.
Peter with 36 aces on the year. Nice ding.
Nice
oh,
coverage.
Good diving save. And the point. 7-3.
Is that number 24?
Yep, that's Trevor Birchfeld. No, check it. It's 19 who's serving. That's Kozlowski. Oh, the dink.
Oh,
What
nice
a
touch.
play. Great time to do it. That's Jackson DiNiccolo. But that took some guts at this point of the game.
And here we go back to number 9. We got Flynn Callan. So let's see if he can get him another run.
Flynn Callan, who got that big run last game. That's in. Kozlowski, Peter Kozlowski with the kill. Now just 7 points away from the championship, leading by 8-4. Jacob Weber. Kelly.
Up, touched by
Just
Tech.
when you needed it. 8-5. The ball might have been long, but it was touched.
You know, again, when that ball's traveling so fast, you have to split second to make that decision.
Yeah, you can't even get out of the way in some cases. Here's Jackson DiNiccolo. What a great serve.
A one-handed set.
That's
and
going to be out. 8-6.
2-point game.
Neither one of these teams has any quit in them at all. DiNiccolo. The dink. Well, good job by Robinson to be able to get that across.
Nice
Robinson
block.
with the block, and he gets it over, but it is out. Point goes to the Cobras.
It was a great try by Foston.
Yeah, Aiden Robinson, number 7 off the bench. Austin Almany. Kelly! It's called get out of the way. I want to be somewhere else rather than where the ball was coming down. 9-7.
2-point game again.
Here's Luke Price.
Nice.
Just
short
gets it
serve.
over.
No,
Block at the net, but it stays on Foston's side. Now 5 points away from the championship.
let's see, 24.
Yeah, that's Trevor Birchfeld.
Oh, what a great short serve. And
And the point.
nice hustle by number 9. 4 points away. Bill Stewart's calling his second timeout of the game. That's his last final timeout.
11-7 is our score. As Christine said, 4 points away from the championship. There you see some of the Cobra fans, fingers crossed, hoping that their team can bring home the championship.
You know, Donnie, you're thinking about it, those last, potentially in 4 points, the seniors on these courts, could be the last time they play high school volleyball.
Absolutely, yeah. There's nothing after this. There's no region, there's no state. We call it the state championship. Again, Harford, the only county in the entire state that has fall boys lacrosse, boys volleyball. Where did lacrosse come from? I don't know. Somewhere in the deep recesses of the mind there. So here we go, 11-7. Wow. If you're Fallston, you know, you got to just play it, what, point by point?
Hey, we know they can make the comeback. They've proven it twice already tonight. See if they can pull it together.
Don Morrison and Christine Mitchell, glad to be with you here at North Harford High School. It is the 2025 Championship of Boys Volleyball.
Good serve, good pass. Coming out of around.
Gross.
He just came from all the way around the backside of the court.
11-8, back within 3.
We have Kelly at the line.
Sean Kelly to serve. He's had a couple of big runs. Notice he just stands at the line and serves. Within 3.
Nice swing. Kozlowski on the outside again.
Boy, the Kozlowski brothers are just a weapon. And they're only juniors. I hate to tell the rest of the league, but they'll be back next year. Here's Gavin Bomert.
Oh, way outside.
Good job switching hands that time.
Up.
Well, it stays on the Cobra side. Point for Falston. Back within 3 at 12-9. And the little guy, Oopa Loopa, Reese Koppelman to serve.
Nice serve.
Well, what a great save by Kozlowski.
Oh, that's
12-10.
Let's see. Still anyone's game, Don.
Sophomore Reese Koppelman. 5 foot 5 inches tall. Boy, that's
Nice
a great
swing.
set. Kozlowski to Kozlowski. 29 Phil to 19 Peter.
2 points away from the county championship now.
13-12, 13-10, I should say.
Falston can come back.
We've seen it. Phil Kozlowski to serve. Phil started the game, remember, with that 5-point straight service wins. Here we go. And he hits it into the net. Wow. What a break for the Cougars now, down by 2. Joey Gross to serve. Joey with 41 aces on the year, a lefty server. Great serve. Kozlowski tanked
Great
over.
corner. Nice hustle by Kelly.
Great save.
Gotta
And they do get it
communicate.
over. Oh, great kill. The kill at the net made by Jacob Weber.
So we are at game point
Game
for the
point
county championship.
at stake. 14-11 the lead. They've got to go to 15 only.
Kozlowski.
Peter Kozlowski to do the serving.
Fans are standing.
Oh, this is so exciting. Peter Kozlowski. That's the game. That's the match. Harford Tech Cobras have won back-to-back county titles, winning this one by 15-11. Christine, they say there are no losers. This is a match where neither of these teams needs to hang its head. What a match they put on today.
You know, Don, I'm really looking forward to next year already, and we haven't even finished officially today.
15-11.
Both these teams next year are going to come back just as strong. I can't wait to see them match up again next year.
Yeah, the Harford Tech Cobras, even though they are a veteran team, they lose only one senior, Austin Amity. They'll have all these players back next year.
Yep.
You can see the celebration by the Cobra fans putting up that kind of wall that they can run through. Congratulations to Gary Clement and to his coaching staff, Shelley Albany, Alexander Necker. The Harford Tech Cobras have won back-to-back county titles last year over North Harford, this year over the Falston Cougars. Christine, give Falston all the credit in the world. They come out of a 6-8 record the year before, 14-1 this year. They take the Cobras down to as far as they could go until the Cobras pulled it out.
Wow, what a great game to watch tonight.
And there you're seeing the two teams facing one another. Let's let them shake the hands and congratulate each other. You'll see Deb Bosler, who is the county athletic director. She'll be approaching here to give the runner-up trophy to the Falston Cougars. See if we can hang on long enough. Here we see Deb Bosler approaching to give the trophy, the runner-up trophy, looking for the captain.
That senior.
Luke Price,
Yep.
who gets the runner-up. And you can tell, I mean, yeah, he's liking that trophy, but hey.
This year's 2025 Harford County Public Schools
Now the 2025 champions, the Harford Tech Cobras. And here comes their captain number 19, Peter Kozlowski. And the Harford Tech Cobras are the champions of 2025, being congratulated by Deb Bosler. Well, we do hope you've enjoyed it. It has been the championship of the Harford County Volleyball Boys Division here from North Harford High School. Don Morrison, along with Christine Mitchell, thank you so much for tuning in, and please join us again during the winter season as we come back with more Harford sports on Harford TV. Good night, everyone.